It should be going live any second, like, or at least it should, to where you can like host it.
Yeah, I'm gonna host it right now. That's the
Yeah.
main objective here.
Indeed.
Let me pull up my dashboard real quick.
Is that a Splatoon shirt?
It sure is. We'll get into that in a
Uh-huh.
second. And I'm
2022.
my um, I had no intention of thinking this was a possibility today, but
Yeah.
then it happened,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm glad I wore the shirt.
Yeah, it fits.
All right, there we go. Throwing the host your way. There we
Yay,
go.
thank you. I can't. It's funny with the Discord calls. I can never see who's doing what. It's just kind of. I can hear it though.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we're good. I was thinking I'm gonna wait a little bit just before I start asking questions. I'm gonna see if people pop, or I'm gonna wait maybe like 2 minutes or 3 minutes for people to pop in.
So it's funny because like I'm like, all right, what to prepare for the interview and stuff, and I have like some topics where I'm like, okay, this is easy stuff, but then I have like several pages of like the Nintendo Direct notes of just like I have every game listed on here.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I watched it with Narkval, and so okay. Without giving too much away, like there was an announcement at the end. I was telling everybody, I'm like, it's happening, guys. The announcement's happening, and then they kind of did it, and it wasn't what I expected. So I was like, oh. Okay. But there are some that were very surprising. I'm like, I'm gonna buy that. Like,
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things out of the Direct that I highlighted that I really liked, and then
okay,
everything else is just kind of like, okay, that exists, and there's a lot of fluff. Like I've got like kind of like the port games all broke down to subcategories, and then just a nice list of just okay, these are coming out.
Thank you for the host, and then Narkfall with 13 months in a row. Nark, thank you so much. I was just talking about
What's
you.
up, Nark?
I was just talking
What's up,
about
Nark?
You. Well, if it isn't the actions of my own consequences. What? What does that even mean?
Oh my goodness.
Actions of my own consequences. You're my consequences. What? But yeah, I was telling him that we watched the Nintendo Direct together, and I was like,
I think there's going to be a lot of people that kind of feel a little let down. Me personally, I'm pretty hyped, even though I got to wait a year. But the games that I expected to be talked about weren't actually talked about.
Same, and I was like, next month. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense, I guess, timeline wise. Actually, we could kind of talk about that before we get into the questions, if you want. Do you want to talk about the Direct real quick?
I'm down.
Right,
I mean,
cool.
it's fresh in everyone's minds. We all just witnessed it.
While I got it in the old brain and Narcs here. Thank you for the host, by the way. If you guys can tell me who's hosting, I have no idea who's hosting. But sounds good. It's probably Slendermonk. Yeah. The triangle game in development, the RPG.
The development name Project Triangle.
That was impressive. I was very stoked about that one.
100%. I'm a huge Octopath Traveler fan, and that game is just another. I think they're going to hit another one out of the park. The team that's developing these games.
Yeah, Narc was mentioning that the Octopath Traveler. And then what's it? I was actually really impressed with the first one, which was Fall Guys. I was like, Fall Guys is coming to the Switch. That's amazing.
I'm 100% happy about that. Yeah. I'm sure it's gonna run like 30 frames, a 30 FPS, just like the PlayStation 4 counterpart. But yeah. I'm down. I stream Fall Guys. Now it's much easier because I always have my Switch plugged in.
You're a Switch guy. And I was thinking too, I'm like, I think they're probably gonna have Nintendo costumes, like Nintendo exclusive costumes for the little guys.
I mean, I hope they bring back the Sonic swag so that the Nintendo kids can get that too. Yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand now these days. But
so that one really impressive. Let's see, what was the other one?
So I mean, for me, right off the back, the Smash announcement, them getting it out of the way as the first thing to do. I'm very happy they did that because usually we always if it's not the first thing, it's going to be the last thing. Yeah. And I'm a huge actually Xenoblade Chronicles 2 fan.
Okay.
Being a a Switch owner since day one and stuff. I surprisingly fell in love with that JRPG off a whim. I'm like, all right, it's December and there's not any other games that's coming up, so sure, I like RPGs. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And they put Pyra and Mithra in there. I'm gonna bring back Smash now.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna dust off Smash now.
I got the season pass for it, so I'm gonna be playing as them. I had heard that it was supposed to be Ryu Hayabusa. Like, I heard he was supposed to be in it, and then they released the Ninja Gaiden trilogy, and I'm like, this makes sense. And then I'm like, it's not him.
Yeah, I mean, there's still hope for him. I mean, now that he's getting at least a port to the Switch, there's possibility of him, and I don't see why they wouldn't do Ninja Gaiden. I mean, I'm fine that they did another Xenoblade character.
Yeah,
as I kind of called it out in my stream where the next Smash character will be a Xenoblade character, but they were gonna also port over like Xenoblade Chronicles X from the Wii U because they pretty much almost ported everything over from that console.
Yep. They
haven't yet, or they're actually going to, right? I think they announced that like one of the last like directs not too long ago.
I don't remember. I know they've ported most of the stuff I played from the Wii U to the Switch. They've mostly done that.
For sure, but yeah, the Smash character, I'm all for it, 100%.
You know which one I'm hoping that they bring over to the Switch is Star Fox Guard. I love that game. That was like a super simple game.
Both games, I think, Star Fox Zero and Fox Guard, like they have to just the combo it.
Yes, and I will say, okay, and this kind of ties into one of the things I was gonna mention, but so if they port Star Fox, they have to at least give you the option not to play. You remember how it was on the Wii U where with Star Fox, you were like two screens and like
the Wii Pad was so crucial for that game.
If there's a way that they could not do that and just kind of streamline it on one screen and not kind of rely on a gimmick, kind of like with Skyward Sword. I'm
about to say that's a good segue. I was about to say there's a great segue.
Yes, that's what I was. There. Yeah, and I was like, because like I'm like I feel bad. Like I'm like watching it. She's streaming it on her Discord, and like I'm like, all right, guys, Zelda's coming up. We know what's happening, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, not this, please. And then like, oh, you use your nunchucks as like the sword and shield. I'm like, please, can I just play as a controller? And then do you ever play Death by Degrees for the PS2, the Nina Williams Tekken?
I've never played that. I've always seen those weird spin-off games, but I never tried them out.
The controller scheme is verbatim like that. The right analog stick is all your little angles there.
Other games that
so that. If they port Star Fox, they have to implement it in more ways than what it was control wise, at least in my opinion. Like Narcs is more like fart bucks. My Starbucks internet is okay, never mind.
Oh, good, that's funny.
Slender's internet's acting up, except for when he sleeps on Discord. His internet's great. That's good. Sorry. So what was your opinion on Skyward Sword?
Well, I've never played it because I actually never owned a Wii.
Interesting. Okay.
I kind of during that PlayStation 3, 360 Wii cycle of I didn't play much games. I was in bands playing music, investing my money in musical equipment and stuff. So I never got a chance to play Skyward Sword. The fact that I called this a long time ago that they were going to port out of all the Zelda games, they've ported most of them over to other consoles, but this one is the only one that is still stayed on its original console. Plus, with the Joy-Cons and the mechanics that Skyward Sword is, it makes sense.
Yeah.
100%, it makes sense. And I'm definitely going to get it, and I'm definitely going to buy those Skyward Sword Joy-Cons to go with it.
All right. Your Sword and Shield Joy-Cons.
100%. Like those things, I mean, alone, I think those are more on my top of my list than the game itself, because those are going to sell like hotcakes. I could just download the game, Oh,
of course. It reminds me when they had Majora's Mask for the 3DS, and I'm like, I'll get it, but I got it mostly for the statue here. I'm like, that's
for sure.
That's what I'm looking for right there. So what else? Was there anything in the direct that you loved, or was there anything that you disliked? I mean, I kind of mentioned all the things that hit marks for me, good or bad. What about you?
Well, for me, obviously, if you look at my shirt, I'm a Splatoon fan. So when the last announcement was Splatoon 3, I definitely got super hyped. I didn't like break my camera or anything, but I was super excited that we're getting another Splatoon game. Yeah. I'm also a little surprised because I thought maybe we'd have like another, it would be in a new console life cycle as opposed to this current one.
Yeah.
But I'm not disappointed because if Nintendo's treats where they just reiterate every couple years and all that stuff, then I'm fine with that. I played Splatoon a lot. That's how I started streaming from the beginning, was just constant Splatoon 2. And then job time frame, it kind of fell off the map, and wanted to spend more time with the family here with the lady and the kids. So kind of had I fell off the map there.
Yeah.
And but now it's calling me back. Splatoon 2 is calling me back, and we're gonna get ready for Splatoon 3.
Full circle.
Exactly. So yeah, that for sure. Top of my list. You mentioned already Project Triangle and Fall Guys. Bravely Default 2. It's coming out in like just over a week. Yeah. I've already got that pre-ordered, ready to be downloaded on my Switch. So I'm definitely going to be streaming some of that. That's going to be a lot of fun stuff right there. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Octopath Traveler, and if you like the RPG mechanics, Bravely Default is like a mirror image of that with just 3D graphics.
Yeah. Kind of like a Final Fantasy Tactics set, right?
Yeah, a little less tactics and just turn-based RPG, just like regular Final Fantasy and stuff. But that, and then I'm curious about the Star Wars multiplayer game Hunters that's coming out for the Switch.
Yeah. It's funny. I was looking at that, and it's still EA, right? I think EA's making that.
100%.
So I'm like, again, I'm just kind of like, I'll wait. Like Plants vs. Zombies, I liked what I saw, but
I'm about to say I'm actually between that and Star Wars. I'm more hyped for Plants vs. Zombies than Star Wars Hunters. So
it looks good, but I'm just like, you hurt me.
Oh man. Oh no. I if they made it free, then I'd definitely download it. But if it's something I have to spend like more than $20 on, I may pass on that.
Yeah,
I may pass on that. So, but Miitopia. Have you ever played Miitopia in the 3DS?
I did. I have to find the clip. It's on my phone somewhere, but I literally made I put my Mii in the Miitopia, and he was literally like going around his room, and like he was crying, and then he had like dark clouds over his head and lightning, and I'm just like, that's me. That's literally me.
The fact that like Miitopia is coming out, like it just blew my mind away. For like the fact that I used to play this game just for free constantly on my like 3DS. And I mentioned how like my best friend, because we were constantly always playing Pokemon with each other. So our, 3DS is what was it called, like Street Pass or something?
Yes, yeah, thank you. Yep.
Yeah, and so he was the most OP character I had the entire time. He could just slay through the whole adventure, have a good run, and then even get to the boss.
Dude, do you remember with the Street Pass? I used to go into Best Buys to get the like the puzzle pieces for the pictures.
Yes. I was obsessed with completing all those pictures.
I would go to like Fanime-Con and all these things. And I had my 3DS on. I had the Street Pass on. I'd have the walking steps so I could buy the puzzle pieces and then have people give me theirs. I loved it. Slender says, knowing EA's greedy ass. Yeah, that's what scares me, because it's like I see hope, and I want to say that they're going to capitalize on the Mandalorian craze going on with their 100%. Hunters, and and they should, but I think EA's gonna do some microtransactions, like a Grogu like assist is like $5 or something like that. Like I don't know.
I mean, if it's all just cosmetic like Fortnite, then that's fine. But we'll see.
More like micro tank actions. Narc and her puns.
Ooh,
wow,
boy, that's something there.
I heard was that Star Wars game is supposed to come out in March next month. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so let's get into the first question. So I'd like to welcome Tank Action here.
Hey guys.
I met him. I met you. Was it Mario? No, Mario 35. Mario 35. You jumped in, and you were giving me like pointers and stuff, and I was obsessed with that game, but I got all the stuff, so all the stamps and stuff like that. But yeah, that's how we met. And you were primarily a Nintendo gamer, right?
100%. I'm still mostly streaming Nintendo games and stuff.
Yeah.
I have PC, I have PlayStation, but Nintendo's just ever since I bought this Switch, I'm like I haven't been more devoted to like a console like in like a long time since I had like Genesis or Nintendo when I was a kid, you know.
Okay, good. So you grew up with the classic. This is going to be good. All right.
Yeah.
So the first question I have for you is what got you into gaming?
Again, so essentially, a funny story. My parents had a Nintendo Entertainment System before I was even born. They had bought it before they moved to across the seas because I was actually born in Turkey.
Oh, wow.
And so my dad was Air Force stationed out there. They had bought in the NES when they were living out here in the States in California. Brought it with them over there, still hooked it up, played it. And then once I think I became at least 2 years old is when they finally decided to hand me the controller and let me play Mario Brothers, the original. And sure enough, they tell the story to me all the time. But when I was 2 years old, I was standing on a chair playing Mario, and then I fell over and I actually broke my arm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I had a little baby cast on with my baby arm all broken, and still was ready to play as soon as it came off.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, all the NES classics from Mario to Ninja Turtles to oh my God, Bubble Bobble, like
oh God, did you ever beat Ninja Turtles on the NES?
Yes, I did. Not when I was that young, but way later because that was a game that I was like, the game sucks. I love the game. The game sucks.
Yeah.
If once you get too many enemies on the screen, it's just a trash
frame rate
mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love Ninja Turtles. I still love that game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Project Manhattan is my favorite NES Turtles title. But yeah, I had to beat that game because it just was one of those like old NES games that I never got to beat. Everyone always had the problem with the bomb stage in the water, but I could fly past that now.
Well, it was funny. I actually, by accident, I figured out that you can kind of touch some of the electrical seaweed. You can kind of go through some of them, but not all of them. And that was the trick in how to get through it. But yeah, I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan too. That's hilarious. And then when they released the arcade game that was it was like number 2, but it was the arcade game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was incredible.
I rented that game from Blockbuster. I don't know how many times growing up.
Yeah, you probably bought it like twice over, right?
Probably, but yeah, between like that and then like just Project Manhattan, Super Mario 3. That's my favorite Mario Brothers game. Is 3. Still to this day, out of every Mario game that's ever came out, I still go to that game and beat it over and over again.
Okay. Do you stream that, or are you going to stream that?
Hi, sweetheart. I do have plans on streaming it. I've recently come across that Virtual Console because for the Game Boy Advance, they released Super Mario Brothers 3, and I used to own that one actually on my SP, but they had this e-card reader thing that you can scan to get secret levels.
Yeah,
and the Virtual Console has all the levels.
Okay,
it has all the e-card reader levels ready to go as already there. So I have plans on dusting off the Wii U, buying that game, and playing Mario 3, and then playing all the e-card reader levels.
Dude, I remember when that was around 2002. I used to work at EB Games, and we sold the card packs for the scanners. Yeah, I remember that.
I had a babysitting job. I saved all my money. I bought an SP. I bought Mario Advance 4 because that's what it was called, right? It was Mario Advance 4. Yep. And a bunch of e-cards because I heard that you could do the whole level thing, and I was just like, oh, let's do it. This is gonna be fun.
I think some of the
power-ups too.
the cards you could use for Animal Crossing 2 on the GameCube. They had like a little arcade, and you could scan the cards too there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Heck, you could get a whole NES library on the original Animal Crossing. It's insane.
Yeah, it's funny. You're bringing up all these memories. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, yeah.
This isn't nostalgia. This isn't an interview anymore. This is just talking about things we remember.
I know. We're already 20 minutes in. We've got one question down. I'm just kidding. All right. So, what was the first game you played?
The very first game ever? I think I already answered it. It is definitely Super Mario Brothers, the original NES.
The original NES one. Okay.
Because off of like just memory, we had a Nintendo, and between that, Duck Hunt, yeah, Kirby and Mario 3 hadn't come out yet because I remember getting those as Christmas presents like when I was like 4 or 5. So.
Okay.
So, but those two games were always like the alternating one. I remember I think my uncle gave us a volleyball game, but I was terrible at it.
Oh yeah, I remember those volleyball games, like the golf one and the dodgeball one too. Yeah,
we had golf. We definitely had the golf game. Yeah. Wheel of Fortune. Oh my goodness, we also had Wheel of Fortune for the Nintendo.
That one, yeah, in Jeopardy. There was another one. I'm forgetting the name. I'm gonna tag you in the game on Discord. I forgot. The name's so weird. It's like onomatopoeia, I think, or something really weird. But it was like a game show game, and I don't know. You'll probably be like the only person that remembers this game. Like when I remember, I have it on a YouTube list.
There's like a weird collection of NES like game show games that came out. Like I used to actually own the original Double Dare for NES and stuff.
Oh wow, never played that one.
It's so bad, but if you love Double Dare, who cares?
Of course, yeah. Okay, and I do have to ask, Duck Hunt. Did you ever put the gun on the screen? Did you ever cheat?
Oh, I did everything, but I was also good at aiming. Like I didn't it like I would do that, but I was like, that's kind of whatever. I just stand back there. Okay, my little sister, all the time. Like,
okay, you're the only person I've interviewed that's admitted to doing that, other than me. I'm like, I used to cheat. I used to make but yeah, you're the only person.
Like we had Duck Hunt, and then we had this other weird trick shooter game that was like this like cavalcade like it was a show, and you had to shoot different objects, and each like different like once you complete that, you went to like another like show, and
Hogan's
curtains
Alley?
would rise. I don't remember.
Was it a Wild West?
Like, no, it wasn't Wild West. It actually had a fake Mario dressed in like a top hat and a tuxedo with like maybe Princess Peach dressed in a Playboy bunny suit.
What?
Super weird. But you basically just shot a bunch of these things that they were just either throwing on the screen at you or they were doing some crazy tricks with. But it was the only other light gun game that I ever played for the Nintendo.
Did you have a Famicom or an NES?
NES.
Okay,
NES. Yeah,
I'm like, that sounds like a Famicom game.
I used to live on a military base too, so we used to get a bunch of weird things coming through like our little like retail store that we had on the base.
Okay, yeah, I was like that. I've never heard of that one. Now you're gonna make me look that one up.
Oh my goodness! I if I still had every game possible, I'd pull out my library right now. But yeah, those have been lost to time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've got like I think 3 NES cartridges left from like back in the day, and like yeah, you lose them. Yeah, it's All right, so next question for you is how long have you been streaming on Twitch?
So I originally started back in, I want to say Splatoon 2 came out in 2017. So about 2018 is when, about a year later, I was kind of looking for other people to play Splatoon with because I knew nobody. So I started lurking other streamers, looking at what they were doing, and figured, hey, I could try this. And played enough Splatoon with some of these guys they invited me to their Discord, had me run their Splatoon section, and then I'd have like what they call Splatter Day mornings.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'd get a full lobby in, have private games, go raid other people's turf wars. Just like it'd be 8 of us and like one just random player who was just in our lobby. You're just like they don't even know what we're doing.
Just bring him in on it. That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, but then I got back into streaming this past 2020 because of SMB 35, 100%.
Oh, that you know, my mod Slendermonk makes fun of me, but when I remember, okay, I got one of those stimulus checks, right? And I bought, I want to say $400 worth of Switch games. Mario 35 comes out. I download that one. I play that more than any game I paid money for it because it's that good. And he's like,
it's so good.
Yeah, he goes, you're addicted to it. And I'm like, yeah, it's so good.
Man, but no, that game really brought me back into the fold. And then I was like, I played it for a good minute. And then I realized I do play other games. And a couple of my friends were like, Pokemon just released their DLC. And I was like, fine, I'll play Pokemon again. And now I'm pretty much just playing Pokemon a lot now again.
You were doing that one today, right?
Mm-hmm. I was playing Pokemon a little bit, just a precursor before the Direct. Kind of, hoping and speculating if we're going to get a Pokemon, new Pokemon main title game. I mean, we're getting Pokemon Snap towards the end of April.
Yes. Yes.
I'm very excited about that. But I was telling my chat too, it's like we're not going to get any Pokemon announcements today because Pokemon Day is next week, and they're going to probably have a direct that they're going to announce the night before. So
true. That's what. Yeah, I again on that direct. It was good. It was good, but I was expecting so much more out of it. But
oh, for sure. I've still got like Metroid Prime 4. Where was that? I'm still waiting for that. Bayonetta 3. Where's that?
Did you hear about Bayonetta 3 though? They said that the creator, the guy who's making Bayonetta 3, said don't hold your breath for it.
I mean, like we're all holding our breath, but like it's been announced and established by Nintendo, so I don't know. It
sounds like they're giving up on it, and I think they said the same for Metroid Prime 4 because Metroid Prime is one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm even just breadcrumb. Give me just I'll even take just a regular port of just original Metroid Prime.
Where's that? That's the other thing. Where's the Prime Trilogy port that's been speculated
or
since
like
the
Eternal
Game Awards?
Darkness port or something? Just. But yeah, I don't. With Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3, I didn't think about that, but I did think about Pokemon, and I did think about a Zelda 3D collection coming out, and we didn't get that.
Well, to keep hope alive when it comes to Zelda, we are going to get more announcements for Breath of the Wild 2 later on this year, which means I hope that they also acknowledge the 35th anniversary later on this year.
Yes.
We're still kind of in the Mario era, so once, March is over, then I feel like Nintendo will fully transition to the new 35th anniversary celebration.
Well,
hopefully.
I was thinking with the expiration date of the Mario 3D collection with Super Mario 35, because those are both going away next month, that's when they're going to usher in the Zelda 35 and the Zelda 3D collection. I think they're going to do a Zelda 35 like Mario 35.
Yeah, I'm just hoping so and stuff. And if we just get ports of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, I'm fine with that. If we get Ocarina and Majora, cool too.
That's what Narc was saying.
I played all those games plenty of times, so it's whatever we get, what we get.
Yeah, because Narc was like, they're gonna do a Wind Waker. It's gonna be a Wind Waker port, guys, and like, yeah, no. Voodoo Cobra, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well. We're doing awesome. Hope you're doing well too, friend. Sorry for the late greeting. I'm multitasking. Yeah, you're good, Narc. You're good. All right. So you answered the first game you streamed. And then this one's kind of interesting. I'm curious about the origin. What is the origin of your screen name?
Tankaction. So I've actually mentioned this in one of your other interviews before. But my friend and I used to just be on our like MySpaces and just crappy social media back in the day with when we used to either jam or go on the internet, and he'll play Farmville and I would play like Assassin's Creed or something. Yeah. But so we'd spend a lot of time playing with websites like Band Name Generator, and Tankaction was something that was generated, and that always stuck with me. Out of all the dumb names that came up, Tankaction, I was like, that's kind of like a play on words a little bit, but I kind of like it. It flows. It's like take action, but it's not take action. It's tank action.
Literally didn't even think about that at first, because like when I talking to you now, I'm like, oh, it's got to be from like the Atari, like the tank game from Atari, like.
Never, and I don't play World of Tanks, the tank game from Atari or anything like that. Like, wow. it just came up from a band name generator, and originally was going to be a band name. It became my stream handle instead.
Wow, and you've kept it since, sounds like 2006, 2007-ish?
About 2008, yeah.
Yep. Because you said MySpace, I'm like, you've just dated yourself, sir.
Oh no, for sure. Our you could even still find my band's page on there. Bloodied Up Knuckles on myspace.com. Check it out.
There we go. Another plug, guys. Get it. God, I remember MySpace, like everyone's like, oh, what's so good? Because you can customize your page, and then like you'd go to someone's page and they'd have like GIFs or like an animated background and music, and it would just slow everything down. And then you had the thing that destroyed friendships, which was the top 8.
But I mean, come on, top 16, top 32s, the top 64s, everyone eventually got.
I was like, oh my God.
I had a sidekick though, so like MySpace was like super clutch for me, and like just in college, just what are you doing? I don't want to be here anymore.
Oh yeah. I did that. I was a telephone operator at a hotel, and so like between answering calls, I'd just be on MySpace, like messing around. Let's see. So, do you have a particular mascot for your channel, or is there one that you're developing at the moment?
I don't have a particular mascot. As soon as I was able to get emotes, a buddy of mine from the 35 community just immediately like did a tank cutout, gave it to me, and was like, "Here, put this as your emote right now." And I was like, "Cool."
There you go.
But I'm talking to my fiance's daughter about getting some custom emotes because she's an artist who, needs to get paid, supported, and all that stuff. And I'm like, "Please make my emotes for me." But she's backed up with a lot of consignments right now, so it's just a waiting game.
And then you did say fiance. Was there things that you wanted to mention here?
Yes. As of Sunday, I had proposed to my girlfriend live on stream, and which was great because thank you. She had no idea.
Yeah.
I just asked her, "Hey, babe, let's play some Scott Pilgrim versus the World, a little couples Valentine's Day stream, and maybe do a gift exchange." She was for it, but had no clue. Yeah. I had like her kids involved, her mom involved. They came out with like 24 roses between the three of them, and then got down on one knee and asked her.
That's beautiful, man. Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I still need to edit and clip it so I could upload it to my YouTube.
You got to. And then I have to is it Tankaction for YouTube also?
Yeah, if you find me on there, it is just Tankaction. There's no like underscores or anything like that. But I don't really have much of a YouTube right now. This is just kind of my afterthought of like, let's just throw things here and see what sticks,
Yeah.
It's mostly just past streams and stuff like that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I'll definitely promote that video in the Discord when you get that up, because that's beautiful. Because I remember you kind of were like, dude, I did this, and I'll bring it up in the interview. And then when you said fiance, I'm like, you gotta let's
yeah.
let's
I don't know if you can see right here, but these are the dozen roses that still have right here.
That is amazing. You're smooth, sir. You're smooth.
Thank you, sir.
If I was wearing a hat, I'd tip it to you.
Oh, indeed.
Let's see. All right, so we kind of delved into this with the Nintendo Direct. This could be for anything though. Are there any games that you're looking forward to streaming that are coming out, or are there any past games that you're like, I want to play those?
So I'll start with this one particular game. I just started streaming again recently. Well, I should say playing a game, but I'm now streaming. Is a Zelda clone called Blossom Tales, the Sleeping King. So if you like old school Zelda from Link to the Past and even Link's Awakening and stuff like that, it's super awesome. It has that 16-bit art style. So much to explore, so much to do. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So much to just a really good dungeon crawler. I will say the dungeons are a lot more lengthy, so you don't feel as rushed for certain things. But that's one game I'm trying to currently stream again.
Yeah.
Bravely Default 2, which is coming out in a week. I plan on streaming that. Pokemon Snap. I'm gonna stream Splatoon again.
Yeah.
Might get that community. I might try to resurrect my old community. They're all doing their own thing now, but who knows?
Yeah. All right.
Fall Guys for the Switch, by the way, guys.
I can't wait. That was the one that I actually got the most. I think when I look back, that one and the Triangle Project were the ones I got most excited about. But I was like, Fall Guys, I'm like, cool. I mean, I have it on PS4, but like...
Yeah, I'm just happy they're finally bringing it to other, platforms now.
Yeah, I mean, I have it on Steam. I got it on PS4. I'm going to get it on Switch, but Xbox, where's the love for the Xbox? Sorry. What they need to do, they need to... I think when they port it on all the systems, they need to do cross-platform. I think that's the future for a lot of like third-party games. They should at least do cross-platform so everyone can play.
Especially for multiplayer, it just makes no sense.
See, okay, so for instance, like my sister, she mostly plays on her PS4. I mostly play on my Xbox, and like one of my mods, Water, he plays on his PC. And we all play COD together, and it's great because we're all like on different things, but we're all playing together. And I'm like, if like Red Dead or Fall Guys or Phasmophobia or whatever, like it was multi-platform, like there would be so many other games that we could all play together,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. Question wise. Here we go. You kind of answered. I think I know the answer to this.
Sure.
But let's see. What is your go-to game for streaming? So if you've got nothing else to play, you're like, I'm gonna fire up this game, and I know I'm gonna have a good time.
Oh man, probably the most recent thing has been just Pokemon. I've just been grinding online. That's kind of where my main focus is, and then try to grind the rank system to get to Master Ball tier. Right now, I'm having a struggle with that right now, so you can see the ongoing drama of me being stuck in Great Ball tier. But that, and then I play a lot with my friends too in real life on Pokemon. They'd like to do a lot of the Dynamax raids and stuff, so we'll get on Discord and just like have a Dynamax raid party, get some viewers in there to help us out. We've even legitimately like made Pokemon for our viewers, so they can do like these gimmicks that we have together and stuff to make it interesting. That's cool. we don't care. We're just like here. But the funniest thing is like we'll only give it one move as opposed to like the 4 moves it could learn.
Yeah. Oh, that's
and
cool.
Then like this is the only thing you can do, and it's it's good stuff. But then I want to get back into 35 again because we only have like a month.
I know, and it's going to be taken away. So look, this is just a conspiracy. This is just a theory of mine. I think Tetris 99 is still out. It's free. Mm-hmm. I think to get more eyes on Zelda, they're going to pull Mario 35 and Mario 3D all collection out, put Zelda in, and then when that leaves, they're going to push everything back out again. And I think it creates scarcity for people to play, and then. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. They're too good of a game. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to. You're making me want to stream Mario 35 again just to get a couple more of those out there.
Honestly, and it's funny too because I'll pop into other streamers all the time, and like the community still like recognizes me, and like always like a few of them always be like, "So where's 35? Why'd you stop playing 35?" And I will admit, like there's only so much you can do in that game where it's just like. And I'm pretty good. So one go around is lasting me like 15 minutes against like somebody else that is really good at this game. That is like trying to snipe me, and it's fun. But then it's like, all right, let's go for another 15-20 minutes straight or something here. It started getting like monotonous and kind of stuff like that. I still like it. I have a great time. I'd love to try to get some good tricks going on. But
how many first place wins do you have under your belt?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm almost at 200, if not over 200 now.
I've got like 45. I was gonna shoot for like 100, but I don't know if I'm gonna get that by.
Honestly, for my comparison to like the people I normally play with in the community, I'm just like at the bottom of the barrel. But like only because I don't even play as much as these guys. These guys probably are like ranging around almost 1,000 wins and stuff now.
Well, what's interesting. Is like the stamps on the thing. I have like a Bowser sticker, but there's 2 empty slots right at the very bottom.
Yeah, and
those aren't fillable.
They're always they're always going to be
That's...
empty. 100%. I thought when I first had that, I'm like, okay, there's 2 more to go, but no.
That's why I kept playing because I'm like, I need to unlock these last 2 stickers, and like, it didn't happen.
Poor design choice in my opinion.
Seriously, like, I'm surprised that Narc didn't like. Rag on that because Narc's very like things have to be symmetrical and like have to match, and then there's just 2 gaping holes just on the right hand side. It's not even framed like right.
I agree 100%. I didn't even bother to count to see if there's like some type of mathematical like if it's better like by 5s or rows of 3s or something, But whatever.
Because I was racking my brain. I'm like, do I need to get 50 wins to get these stickers? And like, I'm like looking online, and someone's like, "Oh, I unlocked all of them." And I'm like, "Wait, there's two missing holes there." And I'm like, "Oh, it's just that's it."
I made theories of what else they were supposed to be and stuff, but nah.
I thought they were like a gold and silver pipe or something like that.
Sure, right? Just Metal Mario.
Let's see. Let me see. Okay. So if you had an up-and-coming streamer come to you and ask you what advice would they need to hit affiliate, what advice would you give them?
See, it's funny because I'm still feel like I'm in the beginning stages of this, and I hit affiliate just being at the right place at the right time. And it basically was like streaming Super Mario 35. Mm-hmm. I was there playing with streamers. I was there ready to stream as well. So when they saw that I had a channel, raids were being thrown my way, communicating with everyone, whether it's the viewers, whether it's the streamers themselves, knowing who you are, establishing yourself like, hey, I play this game too, not really. I know a lot of people don't like self-promotion on like channels and stuff, but like as long as you just people know who you are, and then like I said, I get wins in the game, so people are like, oh, Tankaction, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think I rated you the day you hit affiliate, right? That's one of the rates, yeah.
I think 100%, and that was just a crazy time right there.
Yeah. Because we were talking about Mario 35, and I saw you playing, and I'm like, I'm gonna send people over to this guy.
Those were the glory days. Like my numbers are like a lot lower now because I don't know. There's a lot of Pokemon players. There's not many Super Mario 35 players, so you can kind of get some like decent numbers there. And if you just commit to the grind, you're set for that. But definitely don't play games that are saturated if you're trying to like establish a viewer base. You know.
Yeah. Now, so this is kind of a thing that I've streamers, it's either one way or the other. They either are dedicated to one game and one game only, or they do variety stream. They stream variety games. Mm-hmm. What is your take on streaming one game versus variety games? What is your approach to that?
So it's interesting because I think a lot of that has to do with like your viewership of who your demographic, who your audience is and stuff. I am ADHD, so I cannot stream one game for the rest of my life. I I've been streaming a lot more Pokemon, yeah. But easily the next day, like next week, might be a new game that's going to come out, and yep. I'm gonna stop streaming Pokemon. I'm gonna start streaming that game.
Piece of candy. Piece of candy. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a library of games I haven't even beaten that I'm like, now I'm kind of streaming more. So let's just show the world I can play games.
So it's funny that you mentioned that because it reminds me, and Narc, I'm sorry. So I love Final Fantasy VII, and I played the remake, and of course the ADHD brain, like something else comes out, something shiny comes out, and I'm like, oh, let me play that. Never went back to Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, I hear you.
I by the way, I love Final Fantasy remake, 7 remake. I just let my friend borrow it right now. So my PS4 is like, I gotta either get rid of it or just finally get a PS5. But it's that like loud fan, like it's like starting a motorboat. Like every time I turn it on.
Oh yeah, okay. You're on one of those PS4s. I literally have burned through, I want to say 3 of them. And
I believe it.
I'm on my 4th. I had to get a Pro. I had to get the Death Stranding Pro, and like, I'd be in the middle of the stream and the thing would literally fry. Like it would just go out. And
yeah. The PlayStation 4. It was a fun console. I didn't like jump into it as much as I have with my Switch. My Switch did the same thing with like fan blowing really hot. I couldn't play it docked anymore and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't until about a year ago I decided, screw it. I'm going to mod it, put a new fan in it, and put new thermal paste. And then because I knew if I took off the back, it was going to break, so I bought a new back for it.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow, that is beautiful, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, it purrs like a kitten now, so.
Do you mod systems or like
I did, so like I only have modded my Switch after watching constant YouTube videos, but I did put like the D-pad that you could like buy the shell case for.
Okay.
And I'd modded my left Joy-Con so I can have the D-pad. When Tetris 99 came out, I was golden. I was 100% golden for that game.
Performance enhancing just kidding.
Although I still haven't gotten a first place victory off of that game.
I tried that once and I got booted in like 2 minutes. It was ridiculous. I'm like, all right, I'm good. Nah. Somebody says, 3 boss. I met you when you had your second one. Yep, that's the 3rd one. Yeah, indeed. Sorry.
No, but it's fun. It's fun. I if I can see what it does, and I'll mod it. I just replace the fan, thermal paste. Yeah, it's really super. I'm not trying to like mod it to like do hacks or anything. That's like not my forte or territory. But my girlfriend used to work for a cell phone repair company, so she knows how to solder things too. So.
Oh shit. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, fiance, by the way, if anyone's listening, it's my fiance, not my girlfriend. I'm still having a hard time.
We'll edit that out. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Fiance,
no. Let's see. Are there any future goals for your Twitch channel or for gaming in general?
For gaming in general, I just want to kind of see how long I take this. Again, as I mentioned, ADHD. Once this starts becoming not fun, then that's probably when the stream curtain will die down. But I've been recently getting like this new HyperX microphone right here, a ring light, green screen behind me. I'm kind of like in this to win this.
Yeah.
But We are trying to do more cooking streams, and it's something that we've dabbled a couple times.
Okay.
So we did one last week. It was pretty good. Last one I did was probably like a month and a half ago. So we're trying with new things. We actually got multiple angles where I actually use my computer to just chat with the audience, and then I'll use my actual cell phone as another cam, and I'll have it angled like above me so that you can see the chopping block and everything. So
wow, that is cool.
Yeah, it's kind of still crude and DIY, but like what I told people during that stream last week, I'm like, this is the first stage. It's okay. It's only going to get better from here. So
yeah, and it doesn't hurt to dabble in other things. Like that is
exactly.
That is awesome.
And I mean, cooking is my career. So
is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this isn't on the list, but like, what is your favorite dish to make?
Oh my goodness. So my favorite dish and the first thing I streamed was risotto.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time consuming, and it's you can't leave, and it's kind of one of those like if you do, the dish will not be as good as it can be and stuff. So it has very people have made techniques to where you can kind of cheat risotto, but that's not real risotto to me.
Okay.
But yeah, risotto is a choice.
What is your least favorite dish to make?
Oh my goodness, my least favorite dish to make.
Like, I don't know how to make this.
Okay, I mean, so I love fried chicken, but I don't like making fried chicken.
Let me take that arrow out of my heart.
No, I love fried chicken, but as a cook, I've set up fried chicken stations, and it's just a mess. Yeah. You got to have 3 different dipping stations. You got to do a bunch of stuff.
The egg wash.
It's a great effort. It's a great reward, but I hate cleaning messes. I'm a cook who could do, if you could do everything in one pot or one sheet pan, golden. You know,
cleans up nice.
But I love fried. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fried chicken hater.
Okay.
Just
all right. We'll keep it here. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Narc says one pot recipes are the best. Your one pot.
Agreed, Narc. One pot, crock pot, pressure cooker, sheet pan, saute pan. Like I love making stir fries. Like that's kind of like my go-to.
I miss stir fry.
I just give me some noodles, rice, vegetables, already cooked chicken, or some like dark meat ready to go. Throw it all in a pan, sauce it up.
My mom used to make the best stir fry. Fuck, I miss it. I miss that.
See?
Fried wontons. Drooling. I'm drooling.
Yeah.
So I used to work in a kitchen, and I remember when because I would smell so much food, or like we would bring back the trays and stuff. Mm-hmm. Did you ever hate the smell of food, or like when you get home, you're just like, I don't want to make anything? Like
100%. There'd be times where it's like, fuck, I didn't eat at the restaurant or something, so I'd have to either try to scrounge up something at my house or just say screw it, and I'm just gonna throw this microwave thing in there. Like sometimes I remember the first year I was super passionate, so it's like when I get home I want to like bring the ideas I got from the kitchen back at home and mess with my own like cuisine and stuff. But during that time I was going vegetarian too, so there was a lot of I want to say hardships, but I made things a little bit more difficult because I'm used to being a meat eater and like my pattern of that. So when I switched over to just being veggies and all that stuff, I was like, okay, so now what right now? We can't just throw this like frozen piece of chicken patty in the microwave and put it on a sandwich anymore, So it made me use my vegetables a little bit more, made me, have always rice on hand. Like just even if I'm not hungry, I'll cook a pot of rice because at some point I'm going to be hungry.
Yeah. And are you still a vegetarian?
No, not at all.
Okay. Did that impact? Being a vegetarian, did that impact you making food with proteins like beef or chicken or fish?
Absolutely. And like before, I remember as a kid, I was a picky eater, so vegetables and all that stuff were not like my forte. I definitely was like, ew, gross, all that stuff. But as an adult and having to work in restaurants and figuring out different flavor palettes and combinations and stuff, going vegetarian was a nice eye opener because it made it like now I know how to make a kick-ass salad. I know how to make a good vegetable stir fry. I know how to just roast vegetables really well. I'm still not a big fan of yams, but I can cook the hell out of yams and you'll love them.
Oh yeah, I love roasting potatoes. That's nothing. I love roasting potatoes all day long.
I perfected how to crisp hash browns. Like,
let's see. damn. When I found out you were a cook, I'm like, okay, a whole new like chapter in my brain just opened. I'm like, I got some questions.
I'm a cook. I'm a musician. I play games.
Jack of all trades.
I play D&D. I don't know if you're into role playing.
I've not played D&D. I know people that have though. Like D&D and speaking Klingon are the only things I haven't done yet that are on like the nerd card. Like I'm a full blown nerd, but sorry.
Yeah, for sure. But no, the Klingon. I'm not.
Tankaction, gonna get your potato ass. Yep. Oh wow! Wait a minute. When I said roasting potatoes, that meant Slendermonk. I didn't mean that at all.
Whoops. He meant it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
See. Here we go. Were there any streamers or YouTubers that inspired how you run your channel?
So a couple of shout outs to recent streamers. The first streamer, he's gone by many names. He currently goes by Mana Pots. He was the first streamer I kind of like paid attention to, kind of subscribed to. And he's the one who brought me into his like Discord and helped run the Splatoon community on his page and everything.
Yeah.
So shout outs to that guy. He had like this dream of like bringing like Nintendo competition to like his Discord and channel, and had different, people on his servers running different things. He was huge into Mario Kart 8, and that's kind of where he was shining the most. He actually did really good for Mario Kart 8 back in the day. I remember he got this good achievement where he was the second most streamed viewed Mario Kart 8 Deluxe player.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember him posting that on his Discord and stuff, and I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But then he got family, he got a baby, and then he kind of like dialed down the Nintendo content. He kind of went for more MMOs now, World of Warcraft.
Got it.
Star Wars Online, Lord of the Rings Online, Final Fantasy 14 Online. He loves all those MMO games. So
yeah.
But him, and then as of recently, and we don't see him anymore, but when 35 came out, an old fat man was a guy that I would always constantly watch, play games with, and constant rating back and forth between our channels. Yeah. He was the one who actually made my tank emote for me when I got affiliate. So kind of like little takes from them. They've always kind of been good. I watch what they do, how they talk to the audience, how they engage. And sometimes I have like a real bad trouble of like about my third hour in kind of staying fully immersed and engaged with my viewers, especially if there's just like one or none, because there's a lot of bots that'll say like they're viewing, but then you say like no one's on your chat.
Yeah.
Yep. So ADHD, trying to stay attentive and all that stuff. Oh, yeah. I actually literally will have like a piece of paper of just bullet points of like, okay, things you can just say and ask, so that you can try to engage that conversation,
In a way, though, it's good that, I think Twitch in general, especially within, I'd say, the last month or two, everyone's numbers have taken a huge dip. But in a way, it's kind of good just to kind of bring us back down to like these low numbers or no numbers, because if we have to learn we should talk to 0 people or 1 people or 2 people as if we had 400 people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it helps us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll talk to dead air if there's just dead air there. I've tried my hand at stand-up comedy. I know what it is. I know what it is to bomb and just be like, okay, this is the most awkward moment I've ever had in my life right
now. Let's see. What are your favorite games to play or favorite franchises?
So favorite games and franchises, so just kind of a lot of repetitive. So Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, all for franchises. Those are like definitely top 4 for Nintendo. Smash is its own genre, but it's up there. Yeah. I have a fun time playing Smash because it's either like I'm really good with my friends, and then I play online or play those couple people that are like competitive, and I'm like, oh, okay, I suck.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, I'm trash. But those games, Final Fantasy, I've 100% ever since PlayStation 1, Final Fantasy 7. I've been the biggest Final Fantasy head ever. Yeah. I went back and played all the original ones, played all the PlayStation ones, Final Fantasy 10. I never played 11. I never played 12, but I did play 13.
Dude, so. 12 is excellent. You would like 12. 12 is
they have 12 on the Switch now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It was called like the Scorpio Age or
Yep.
something like that. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's basically Sony's attempt before online Final Fantasies were a thing. It replicated what an online Final Fantasy would be with as a single player game. I think you'll love it. 10's great. I'm literally on the same page as you. I went with 7 and then went out, and I actually missed 11 too because it was online.
I mean, they actually still have it going on PC, and it's like kind of dirt cheap to play it and stuff.
What's your favorite Final Fantasy?
God, so it's like Final Fantasy VII is always my go-to. It's still like the one I'll go ahead and play through and just 100% complete it with all the master materia and everything like that. Go through that grind. But excuse me.
You're good.
What is it? Final Fantasy VI or like Final Fantasy III for Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another classic one that I can play over and over again.
I need to get into that one. I never actually. I did play that. I rented it at Blockbuster in like 94, 95, and I was like, this is just, I didn't get it,
sure.
But like the one that actually kind of cut my teeth with RPGs, that was a Square game was Super Mario RPG.
Yes,
that was so good.
Mm-hmm. So fantastic. Still a hidden gem. If you've never played it, play that game. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic game for people that want to try RPGs, but everything's kind of simplified, and they use the Mario items to kind of explain to you like buffs and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what got me into RPGs actually.
Yep, that game's fantastic, hands down. And then I played Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, 10. I was pretty much a PlayStation Final Fantasy committed head. So once 10 came out, I was just like, this is great. I got my PlayStation 2 day one. Let's go.
Oh yeah, dude. And then they talked in it and stuff like that. That Final Fantasy. I remember my mom would ask me to play it, and she actually cried at the end. Like,
dude. Oh, that story though was like pretty strong. Though,
oh, absolutely. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was about to say I've been a musician. I used to work at a guitar store after high school and all that stuff. And I remember we had this like very nice digital piano that we got in that was like our most upscale one, to the point where whatever you played, it would score out in like actual sheet music right in front of you.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it was pretty high tech for its time and stuff. And so I remember this one customer came in and she was testing out all the different like pianos and all that stuff, and all of a sudden she starts playing the theme to Final Fantasy X.
No way.
And so I was like, ma'am, if you don't mind, can you play it on this piano right here? And so I set her up to record it. And so I had the whole actual like sheet music
tricky
on this
guy.
piano. And so after she left, at any moment I could just hit play and just hear her like
rendition of Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And then did she play that, or did she play the game, or what? Like she
did play the game, and she played that beautiful piano melody when you'd always Yuna and Titus like always interacting with each other.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps from it right now, just remembering this moment.
I'm hearing the song in my head as you're talking about it.
Yeah. My boss at the time was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm like, and then I broke it down to him. He's like, there's a reason why I hired you, Brandon.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have any favorite video game characters?
Favorite video game characters? Let me pull out my amiibos now.
Oh yeah. There's a good gauge.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, so like Mario, Link, Cloud. Like I've always kind of like gone with hero protagonists and stuff. Like I've always been like good should prevail and that kind of like stuff. Now, don't ask me who my favorite Pokemon is, because it's a constant rotating thing.
Okay.
Yeah, like a lot. People can ask me that question. I'm like, that's a lot to unpack. I'm sorry.
It's like kids.
Yeah. But yeah, those kind of main staples, like those three individuals, like I could almost probably name like most of Smash characters, and I could be like, yeah, those are pretty much like my favorite characters. Like yeah. Eddie Gordo in Tekken 3 was always my jam.
You're talking about Tekken 3. Oh man, one of my favorite games ever. By the way, you just got that song stuck in Slender's head too, the Final Fantasy X piano song. Tekken 3, yes. Yep. Actually, I would even go as far as say it is my favorite fighting game of all time.
Oh, it's fantastic, especially for the first generation of 3D fighters and all that stuff. Like,
yeah,
they made a good game with that.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. This is the big question with Tekken 3. Do you listen to the PlayStation rendition of the music or the arcade rendition of the music? Do you switch it? What do you switch to?
So like that, like, to me, I didn't grow up enough in the arcades to know the difference between the Tekken 3 like renditions and stuff. So whatever was just on, I just listened to.
The PlayStation. Listen to the arcade one. The arcade one. It's funny because like my sisters that I helped raise when they like moved out and they're playing with their boyfriends or whatever, you'd see them fire up the PlayStation and then they'd, for Tekken 3 they'd go to the options menu and switch to arcade, and I'm like, yes. That's music.
That's sweet.
King's version, Tekken 3 arcade, Harangue and Jin. The music is incredible. Incredible.
Some quality stuff there.
Eddie Gordo's too. I have it on my phone. Like you're making me like gush about these games.
I know, right?
Yeah, especially because you love music. So I've never asked anybody this question. It's always been on my list, but what games have really good soundtracks to you?
Oh God, this is a great question right here. So as I recently just streamed this game for my proposal, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, one of the best soundtracks for a video game I've ever had to play. Anamanaguchi, if you haven't heard of them, they're really cool 8-bit, 16-bit, music guys right there. They play everything on their instruments, and then they just process all that stuff through like pedals and effects and stuff to make it sound like that video game stuff.
Yeah.
But they're just strumming along on their bass guitars and everything like that. So it's those guys. Final Fantasy VII, I think, is fantastic music. Star Fox 64, the music and the audio. Like me and my friends still quote every stupid peppy line that he's ever said. So, but and then of course Mario. Like you cannot play a Mario game and not get the first World 1-1 song stuck in your head.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
But yeah, video game music. I can go on for this because there's some like really excellent stuff. I played Octopath Traveler, bought the deluxe edition, and they gave me an actual like CD, and I have a CD player in my car, so I listened to Octopath Traveler.
Dude, Star Fox 64. That was a good one. Tekken 3, Symphony of the Night. Did you ever listen to Symphony of the Night?
I did listen to Symphony of the Night. That's some good stuff right there.
Good stuff. Final Fantasy VII, like you were saying. I'd even Zero Divide had a really good one. I don't know if you ever played that one.
For sure. Freaking F-Zero in itself, like that whole soundtrack is just fantastic.
Yeah.
If you want to get hyped on playing games, just listen to an F-Zero compilation.
Oh yeah, that's what you work out to.
Yeah.
All right. If you could remake or port any 3 games to the current gen, what would you bring over?
Well, let's just like I said it again, and I'll just get out of the way. Give me the Metroid Prime trilogy. Okay. Port that over. I want that already. I'm gonna say Mother 3 so that they could all shut up.
Wasn't that on the Wii U? Did they bring that one over?
So Mother 3 is I think the last one that they haven't ported over.
Okay.
Either that or like Mother 1. One of the Mother games. I say port that over so that the fan community can be happy and they can rejoice in the port that they've never had. So those 2 games are the ones that stick out to me the most right now. I'm sure there's a third game out there, but I nothing that's like making me that's like jump out of my skin or like skip a beat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But yeah, Metroid Prime trilogy, please. Can you just do that already, Nintendo?
Dude, if I would literally be streaming and beat Metroid Prime 1 for sure if they brought it over. But then I would want to give me the trilogy, but then the option not to do the motion control for 3.
For 3, yeah.
Yes, I'll be all over it.
They shoehorn those mechanics in that game so hard, just like Skyward Sword.
Yeah, and that's why I was halfway through beating 2, and then I had to move and I lost the game, and then I remember I had 3 at one point, and I played that, and it was like motion control. And the thing with motion control is I itch a lot, and I'm just like, and then you'd see my character like aiming upwards.
What's going on?
Exactly. So I'm like, nope. But yeah, if they could bring that over, I'm on board with you. Prime 3 or Prime Trilogy for sure.
Mm-hmm. I'd even say I'll take a Samus Returns port from the 3DS recently.
You know, I was wondering why they don't do that. Why don't they just like do a multi-release for games that are on the 3DS? Just bring them over to the Switch also. Like,
yeah, 100%. And then smart. Take away the unlock of having to use the amiibo so that people can play the fusion mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. What is the hardest game that you've played?
Oh my goodness! Anything that requires a Konami code.
Ooh, okay, Contra and Life Force.
Life Force was going to be one of the ones I mentioned and stuff. And I was actually just mentioning to my buddy that I stream Pokemon in Stardew Valley with that. I was like, look, I'm going to figure out how to put Life Force on my computer, and I'm going to stream it without using the Konami code.
Why would you do that to yourself?
And he asked me that. He's like, because I hate myself.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, Life Force is still the only game that we only have beaten it because of the Konami code.
Oh yeah, then you have to have a friend with you.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, Life Force was one of the ones. Ninja Turtles, as we mentioned earlier, still like one of the ones that I'm happy that I beat as an adult. Glad I can put it behind me now as well.
Yeah. Oh, actually, okay. Let me ask you this one. Did you ever play Spider-Man vs. X-Men: Arcade's Revenge for the Snes?
I didn't own a Snes, but yes, I have played it at many of my friends' house because I had the Genesis, they had the Snes. So.
Okay, that in my opinion is the hardest game ever made.
Did you ever beat it? No, I never we never had even like a moment of like where we like committed to it. I think my friend might have one time, but I don't even know where he's at today. okay,
because the Juggernaut, Wolverine level 2 with the Juggernaut, I've made peace with myself. I'm like, I will never beat this game. I can't beat that level. Like I'll die, and I've accepted that. It's so hard. Like they made. Did you ever read the theory that they made those old 8-bit and 16-bit games really hard because they were so short, so they had to kind of pad it with difficulty?
I've heard the theories like that, and I've as a gamer from then to now, I've kind of noticed that like ever since they introduced the save system, that games have become a lot easier. You know, the challenge of trying to like grind through a game. I even remember a classic like just playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and trying to grind through all the way to the very last level, and then finally making it to the boss. But I had to get to school. And leaving my turning off my TV, but leaving my Sega Genesis on all day until I got back home, and booted my TV back up, unpaused the game, and then beat Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you find that with games? Do you think games have gotten harder or easier nowadays? Because you got games like Dark Souls and the Miyazaki games. Do you think they've gotten easier or harder?
So I think depending on it. Depends on the strategy of the games that you play and how you play them and stuff. Obviously, you can make any game easy or hard depending on it. I still think a lot of modern games are easy because of the save system and stuff. Sure, Dark Souls is a punishing game that you're going to have to restart over and over again, but you still have a save system. You still can, grind out that one boss and then get to the point where you save and then get punished all over again. There's no going back to the beginning again and starting all over again. Not like the old games back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, let's see. Do you? Not that I'm taking notes or anything. This is just. It's just.
No, you're good, man. Here. I've got a pen ready to go.
Yeah. Do you have any random pet peeves?
Any random pet peeves? I don't like repeating myself, which is. Let me unpack that statement. I tend to mumble and not be very articulate with my words. And so when someone doesn't hear me the first time, I'm too prideful to say it again and slightly embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, it's not like, damn it, you should have heard me the first time. I'm not going to say it again. I'm just like, never mind. It wasn't important.
Yeah. I remember when we played Mario Kart together, I could not hear what you were saying. I was like, what is he saying?
Yeah, and I was kind of in a weird spot too because I had like just my AirPod in and I had like my now fiance next to me who was trying to like kind of like sleep and stuff. So I'm just like, yeah, guys, it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's just like, oh my god. So when you said that, it just took me back. I'm like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. No, like if I can be loud and boisterous. I have a coworker that tells me all the time. She's like, Brandon, I love you. You're too fucking loud. but at the same time though, we wear face masks at work because I work at Whole Foods. So I have to constantly project to customers because customers don't know how to project back. And with these face masks, if they were already a soft-spoken person, you can't hear what they're saying with their face mask on. Yeah. So they'll be trying to be cute and try to take it down. I'm like, no.
So if I could just get the mushroom risotto, that would be no.
Yeah, no. Like what?
Let's see. Are there any hidden skills or talents, or as Narc likes to call them, party tricks that we don't know about?
So I've used to do theater when I was in high school and all that stuff, and one thing I was really good at was improv. If you've ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of that kind of stuff? I was really good at that. We had a club there. I was there day one. And then at the end of the year, they nominated me to run the club next year with a couple of my other buddies and stuff. So, yeah, I was huge into improv comedy. And I still could do it to this day. I try to revitalize my old talents with a new person I met out here in California, but that fell through.
Oh.
Yeah, let's not get into that. But it was still fun, though. It was a nice thing to revisit. And if I had more time, I'd love to try to do that. But not right now in our current climate.
Yeah, you can. Let's see. Do you have any favorite movies?
Favorite movies, of course. I can watch any Star Wars movie, and I do mean any Star Wars movie over and over again. Okay. Like you know, if I want to binge 1 through 9, I'll do it. I don't care. I've seen them multiple times, including the new trilogies. Like at this point, they're just like they're nice, long epic stories to where I don't need to be fully committed. I've already heard them 1,000 times. You know, like even the Lord of the Rings trilogy. If I really want to do a time waster, director's cut, all 3.
Jeez.
Yeah. I like long epic movies and stuff. Probably like 10 years ago, I would have told you like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Currently, I've watched that movie. It doesn't hit the same notes like it did when I was in a band dating multiple people at the same time and all that kind of stuff. Like now I'm like, Scott should get his shit together.
Yeah, the adult tank is
right. Scott, you really kind of suck.
Let's see. What about TV shows? Do you have any favorites?
TV shows. Game of Thrones was a big one until they ended it, and then take or leave. Take or leave how it ended. I'm personally happy it's ended. I can move on from it. All that stuff. I was a big fan of the CW DC franchises for a minute.
Arrowverse.
And 100%. But I kind of fell off the wayside of that.
Yep.
Towards the end of the what is it? Infinite Crisis. That's kind of like the exactly. I was like, okay, this is cool setup, but I didn't commit to it. I kind of got over it.
I'm right there with you, dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Mandalorian.
Yes.
Most things on Disney Plus right now is great. WandaVision, if no one's watched it, it's fantastic. By the way, if you haven't noticed this yet, but I get this constantly and stuff, I look like Evan Peters. Everyone that sees and meets me have always compared me to Evan Peters, Quicksilver, American Horror Story, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm like, I kind of see it, but everyone else is like, you really look like him. And I'm like, okay. So when he had his big reveal on WandaVision the other week, people were just like, so what have you been doing this past 2020?
I can see it after you mentioned it. That's what Narc says. Yeah, if you shave and then
for sure
put your hair. Was it silver or white? Yeah, you pulled off.
Yeah, it's any kind of like I like hero stuff. Doctor Who, still one of my favorite series.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a classic.
I love Doctor Who.
Let's see. I'm trying because you've answered a lot already. You know what I mean? Like, so it would be kind of redundant for me to ask some.
And no, it's all good. It's been a great interview. Thank you.
Thank you. What is the biggest accomplishment you've achieved in gaming or your channel in general?
In gaming or in channel? Okay, well, the biggest accomplishment, and you're gonna have to give me a second. I'm gonna dive into a bin right behind me real quick so I can show this off. But y'all can hear me. So this goes with my Pokemon days and stuff. Before I played the video game a whole bunch, but back in 2013, 2014, I decided to go ahead and go really big into Pokemon trading cards and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I played, actually started collecting, and then started visiting card shops, started making my own decks again, and I played a lot of the TCG online, so I was like, okay, this is cool. So I decided to actually enter a Pokemon card tournament and stuff, and I don't know if you can see that right there, but I actually got first place. Take this shine off right here.
There we go.
Right there. First place at an actual Pokemon League tournament and stuff. So
wow.
Yeah. I would say this is my biggest accomplishment in gaming.
Okay.
My biggest accomplishment is proposing to my fiance last Sunday.
I'm gonna have to steal that from you, sir, one day.
Yeah. So but for this, like, this is my trophy, and I still keep this around.
That is cool. The only Pokemon card I have is it's like a mint condition. I have two of them. It's a mint condition Series 1 Charizard.
Oh, nice. And I mean, you could sell that right now. That's going for buku bucks, apparently. So
yeah, gotta figure out what to do with those.
I've lost all those cards from Gen 1. Like, I was a kid in the playground trading them, playing with them, all that stuff. I couldn't even begin to tell you where they all went, unfortunately.
Let's see. What is the hardest boss that you ever played against?
Oh my god, the hardest boss. I think Mega Man X4, when you play as Zero to actually beat Sigma, is super effing hard. Because I as Mega Man, it's easy because you have your gun and you can just keep distance and avoid things. Zero, you have to just swipe him with the sword.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's like one of the first ones that stick in my mind. And again, we mentioned this game already, but battling Shredder and Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
even in the Manhattan Project one, when he went to Super Shredder, like, that was, if you didn't have player 2 with you and stuff, that boss was a nightmare.
Oh yeah. Or if you didn't do, I think the code worked on that too, right? The Konami code.
I think so too, but we never used the Konami code for Ninja Turtles. It was too fun.
You're so mean to yourself, man.
I would say Ninja Turtles though is like, if you're player 1 Konami code, but like if you had player 2, there was you and your buddy were just there one afternoon, just determined to get to it. So
let's see. So if someone were to come to you and they had a bad stream, or their numbers were low, or they had trolls, how would you tell them how to deal with those bad streams, those bad days?
So yeah, if you have a bad day, it's like I said, I stream to dead air. I play Pokemon. It's a very saturated game and stuff, but I don't stop because I like what I do. I have fun either building teams, doing battles, trying to engage with my viewers on like tips of like, what should I have done this way, or what could they do this way. Like today I had a guy who was asking me, like, he was breeding his team and he's like, I'm thinking about using this, but I'm not too sure about this. And I was like, well, yeah, if you go with him, you're going to have to worry about this, but then you have this, like it's nice. And even if you have like just that one viewer who just commits to it, give that one viewer you hit the full attention they deserve and stuff. Even if they're not that engaging with you and stuff, just acknowledging that their presence is there. That sometimes like, helps you out and stuff. Because then they're like, hey, they talked about me, and they'll come back next time or whatever, absolutely. So don't be downtrodden. Don't try to make this a numbers game and stuff. If you're trying to create a career out of this and stuff, I think you're kind of setting yourself up for failure to begin with. You should just be going to have fun, because I stream not because, all right, now I'm gonna start, microtransactions. I'm going to just run ads constantly. Like, no, I did this because I know how to game and I like to game and I would like to share my gaming experience with friends, family, loved ones, strangers, people I don't know, but hopefully people that are like-minded individuals that like the same thing. And to answer the third part of that question with trolls, just get yourself a good moderator. Always censor most comments that are coming your way and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if someone's giving you grief, just ban them. You know how nice it is to have the power to just silence someone, to just be like, ooh, you're saying weird things. No. And then, you just move on in that.
Yeah.
I
agree. It's funny. I was modding for somebody, and for whatever reason, they got like their jollies off of trolls existing, and even bots where they're like, "Hey, follow me," and like, and that they were like, "Well, I don't care about it," and I was like, "Yeah, but your viewers might, and you might be losing people because they don't feel safe, in this place, and you want to build
absolutely
loyalty and all this stuff." Hey, Ducky Chicken, how's it going? But yeah, I agree. Like, just if they're being toxic, which that's such a played out word, but yeah, banning is just.
Not toxic is I think is the most accurate word, or as my 15-year-old stepson says to me now, school threats, as the cool kids are saying.
Is
now,
that the cool thing now? School threats.
The school threats, which is like you're describing a kid who would possibly do a school shooting, which I think is a very messed up saying, but it's kind of like they're trying not to be as like severe as that or as literal as that.
Yeah.
It's like the word when we used to throw gay around all the time.
Yeah.
Which don't throw that word around. It's we're come a long way and stuff.
Yeah.
If it's stupid, just say it's stupid. Like,
yeah, I hear you. I was like, I like when you emphasized on what school threats mean. Your feed like paused for a second, like, oh, they're getting them. They're getting them now.
They're gonna ban me. They're gonna ban me over here.
Hey, Narc. OG Charizard card with a crying face. I would not lie about having 2 Charizard cards to get you to say something in chat. I would never do that. I would never lie about that.
What is this guy saying?
And I would never. About? Yeah, I was tempted to just give them away to somebody. Narc.
Water. Let's say here, Narc. I got you right now. How's this? How's this? A Mega Charizard card for you right there. How's that? You like that right there? All
right. One day I was in her stream and she was talking about how she would love to have a Series 1 Charizard card, so I made sure to say that I had 2 Series 1 Charizard cards, mint condition, and I said I didn't know what to do with them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Who's the troll now?
I get banned from my own stream. Sorry, Narc.
Who's the troll now? Oh man, that's fun though. That's good. That's good. Gotta keep him guessing.
I love to do that with her. Yeah, I've wanted one ever since I was a kid, and I got debated and scammed so much when I was a kid. I was behind all of that, Narc. Even when you were a kid, that was me.
I wish I still had it, but I had this like totally counterfeited fake like Raichu card that totally didn't even have the same background. It was like blue. Like I was like. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I still kept it though. But I called the kid out. I was like, "Hey, you gave me a fake Raichu card," and I just threw it right back in his face.
Rye blue,
exactly.
So when I worked at EB Games, maybe you guys know the answer to this, but what was it? These kids would come in and they would want to see our packs of Pokemon cards, and they had a mallet, and they'd bang this mallet on the pack of cards. And if it made a beeping sound, if the mallet beeped when it hit, it told them that there was a rare...
First off, they had a mallet that made beeping noises.
Yeah, so they'd hit it, and like it wouldn't make a sound. And if they hit it, and it beeped, they were like, I want to buy that one. And it would have like the rare... It would have like an aluminum, a foil card in there.
Oh, okay. This is the first time I ever heard or seen anything like that. Where did they get this hammer? Why did it beep? I have a lot of questions here.
We're talking like 2002. I just remember working there, and like the kids would come in with the hammers, and I'm like, oh shit, Toby, they're coming in with the hammer again.
Fuck.
I'm like, God,
those kids. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so you would just sit there, like we did it for like a week, but then we were just like, well, then now we're not gonna sell any of these cards because they know, we're just sitting on these cards that are obviously duds. Yeah. So we stopped them from doing that, but I wanted to see if anyone else had known anything about the hammer.
It's the first time I've ever heard or seen it. You
It
know?
was Hammer Time, Voodoo Cobra. It was Hammer Time at EB Games.
Hammer Time. Oh my goodness. I would say I know because I worked at GameStop too at some point in my time. And were you guys infamous for getting the Battletoads calls? Like, hey, do you guys have a copy of Battletoads?
Never got, no.
Apparently, I don't know if that's just a GameStop thing because after GameStop procured everyone and all that kind of crap. I remember getting these buttons that we finally got in because they had Battletoads ported to the Rareware, the 30 collection.
Yeah.
So, but apparently there used to be a big prank call thing for GameStop. They would go ahead, call GameStops, and ask if they had Battletoads. And this was after they got rid of all their Nintendo like classic crap and all that stuff. And they never had Battletoads was the thing. And it was like, haha, we got you again. Like, whatever. But
you know what's funny? So I always tell people, I'm like, you guys think you're hardcore gamers? Work at a video game store, and then you'll see some crazy gamers, some like hardcore crazy gamers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird mixed bag.
We are
people you know.
I had a couple that would come in and they would dress up in like steampunk characters, and they were based on some on some game I don't even remember. Or like I had a guest, or not a guest, Hotel Talk. I had a customer fight an associate over StarCraft versus another. I forgot the other game, and he pushed the.
I mean, the answer's StarCraft, but
yeah, the associate pushed the customer over the magazine rack.
What?
Yeah, and I had to pick that up, and
then oh my goodness, and then you fired the guy, like
no, he was the manager.
Oh my goodness, what is going on here?
No, and that's what I was like. It's like it's a circus. Working at a video game store, you might be a hardcore gamer, but like when it's like Jerry Springer of like you see like all the kooky sides of just do you have any horror stories about GameStop?
Okay, well, so my store is no longer in working location as they've closed many GameStops down. My store was the first one to go bye-bye, but I got out of there way before that. But my first day, somebody the night before decided to run their car into the GameStop, try to bulldoze their way through the barricade and get a bunch of games. So from my first day to my last day, there was a broken ass window, fully exposed that we had permanently had the security
Shutters.
Gate
because
they were stuck there too. So they were damaged in the whole like car wreck. Guy didn't get in or take anything. We just had this huge just hole in our wall now, and that was fun. And then the other crazy moment I had was I went there on my day off to return one of those like rental exchange games that the employees can
we got to do that.
Take a part of. Yeah. And my boss came in super late and super drunk and sold an M-rated game to like an 11-year-old or some shit. And if you know in the video game world, you cannot do in the retail video game world, you cannot do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's like giving cigarettes to a minor and all that stuff, which, like, say what you will about the severity. One's a video game, one's an actual thing, will do damage to you. They still pretty much would fire you on the spot if you did that kind of stuff. So I did not have a boss for a little bit. The SGs had to fill in her spot because they pretty much fired her right away.
Wow. I had a security guard a security guard robbed us of our till. Yeah.
That's weird.
And I was the assistant manager and I got fired for that.
Dude, man, okay. I would say was that EB Games, right?
Yeah. And it was my last day at EB Games was the last day that EB was not procured or bought by GameStop. So I'm an EB guy the whole way, yeah.
So before they became GameStop, but they were already headed that direction anyway. So GameStop is awful. Don't work for them, by the way. If you made money during this whole stock thing, good for you. Other than that, like, GameStop sucks. Just buy your games like digitally or just go to Target. Like,
yeah. Slender says people weigh their packs. That's why they do foils on all the cards, at least with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I like how he capitalized the letters appropriately. That's hilarious.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Let's see. Some of these are ASMR questions, but yeah. All right, so we're going to go to bonus questions. These are going to be really fast.
Ooh, lightning round. Let's go.
Lightning round. So I kind of okay. Physical or digital?
I'm leaning more digital now these days.
Yep. Was there a game that you hated at first and then you played it and you realized that you were wrong about it?
I don't know. I've never played a game where I've hated and then come back and be like, you know what? It's actually really good. And I pretty much stated convictions of like, I don't like this game.
That's how I felt about Red Dead Redemption 1.
Yeah.
That's what inspired the question because I'm just like,
sure,
it's not bad.
I'd have to. Yeah, I'd have to really think about that. But
you can think about it too if you need to. Like you're good.
Yeah.
Inverted or regular aim?
Oh, I base this all on Splatoon 2, and that's all motion controls. So I think that's I think they do everything regular. If I aim up, it's gonna aim up and stuff. If I try to do inverted axis, man. I do inverted on God, what games did I used to do inverted on? Like I'm not like one way or the other. Like it I've done inverted. I like inverted for certain plays and stuff, but yeah, I can kind of go back and forth between them. I think I used to do inverted on Star Fox 64 like all the time.
Well, I was going to say, I think Nintendo trained me on doing inverted because a lot of their games had inverted controls, I think. But yeah, I can't do regular aim.
No, but I understand the concept of it. I've played enough flying simulators to understand like when you pull down the throttle, you go up, and then when you go pull the throttle forward, you go down. That makes sense to me. It makes perfect sense. But I'm also not too like if it goes up, it still makes sense to me. Like it all just depends on what's the game, God,
so Cylinder says, read my previous comment. He goes, a metal detector, lol. People will weigh the packs. So he's saying that it's a metal detector that reads, but no, they hit it. They hit it, so it would have to be like a sound wave that goes
that would
through
echo,
the cards. Yes,
echo back if it was like a foil or something. Right?
Yes, I don't. So would a metal detector do that? Like,
well, I don't think that's like the holographics aren't really made of metal or anything like that. It's just a shiny shimmer to it, right? I don't know. I don't know how they manufacture cards.
Narc says, doesn't that make him a Digimon? It could. Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on Digimon. I love Digimon. Secretly, I'm an OG Digimon fanboy over here. But
I literally have to get Pokemon because of Narc. I don't know. I forgot which one I have to get. If it's Sword or Shield, but I have to get one of them so we can trade. But I
have Shield. If Narc, I have Shield. I don't know if you have Sword, but I have Shield. So actually, I have both. I legitimately have both, and I'm gonna do a playthrough of Sword. But it's called a Nuzlocke version, a playthrough. Makes the game a lot harder because everybody wants a hard mode for Pokemon, but they don't put a hard mode for Pokemon. So
Narc says she has Shield, so I have to get Sword now.
Damn it, there you go. So
why? Okay, do you know any good dad jokes?
No, I try to refrain from dad jokes. My my new stepdad does plenty of dad jokes, so I'll leave him to it.
Okay.
If I see or have the opportunity for one, I'll try. But it's a dad joke. I just let the other people who like dad jokes do the dad jokes.
Okay.
I'm here for them though. Bring them on.
Slender says Nuzlocke. Interesting. Slender, do you have Pokemon? Hold on for a sec. I think I can get you. Here we go. PMS jokes, they're not funny. Period.
Classic.
Let's see.
I've got one.
Oh, go ahead.
You first. I would say you just started, so go for it.
How do you make holy water? I just fucked that up. Boil the hell out of it. Damn it.
Okay, so I've been reading this book about anti-gravity, and I can't seem to put it down.
There we go. Boom.
Yeah.
So we got it.
Yeah.
We got it. Yeah. I got him to do it. There we go. It's addicting. Let me go back to the questions. What other than video games? You kind of answered this, but what other hobbies do you have?
So, even though cooking is part of my career, it's also still my hobby. I like to experiment with different flavor palettes and kind of create my own spin on certain dishes. Music, kind of been taking more of a wayside of that, but I've been kind of wanting to try to bring it back. This microphone picks up amazing sound, so I've been wanting to just plug my little electric guitar in and strum along. Okay.
Let's see.
And so,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm about to say my other. Sorry, I got interrupted by
You're good.
My future mother-in-law, but dinner's ready. But that's fine. Music, streaming, cooking, being a good father to these kids is also kind of a. Now I wouldn't say like a quirk or hobby, but like kind of another like one of my passions right now because
absolutely,
these kids deserve all the happiness.
Yeah.
So,
let's see. Your top 3 favorite Star Wars characters.
Top 3, okay. Jar Jar. No,
that was my fucking.
Just okay. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes,
still one of my favorite Jedi. He's not number 1, or there's no particular order for this, but Qui-Gon Jinn, fantastic. Like I've always been. Obi-Wan Kenobi too.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Darth Maul. Weird. Episode 1, Darth Maul. Darth Maul.
Yeah. Okay, so you like episode 1 also.
Yes, like I do and I don't. Like there's many aspects where I don't like it, but then you get the Darth Maul fight scene, you get the Qui-Gon Jinn interactions.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, like they're classic and fantastic. Like beautiful.
Narc wants me to ask you, what do y'all think of the Jar Jar Binks is actually a secret Sith theory? I think it fits. I think that works, and it would make total sense.
It's like X-Files. I want to believe.
Yeah. Misa behind everything.
I think did Robot Chicken touch on that a little bit, kind of in their like Star Wars specials, where they kind of like decided to,
I
have
think
Jar Jar Binks be that secret Sith Lord, but then have interactions with Palpatine, which is hilarious.
They froze him in carbonite, I think, eventually.
Yeah.
Voodoo Cobra says, "What do you call a potato wearing glasses? A spectator."
Oh man, try the veal. It's delicious.
Then, what do you call Slender Monk in chat like normal? A dictator. Because
I don't get it.
He's a potato.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
What are your top 3 favorite Star Wars movies out of all the ones that have been released?
Oh man. Okay, so I like Revenge of the Sith. I like Empire Strikes Back. And my last one always gets a toss up between like A New Hope, which is just the standard classic, and it's garbage, but I like Attack of the Clones too, though.
That one's surprising. I like that one. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I like Attack of the Clones. Enough with the love scene and all that stuff, but like once they finally get to Mustafar and all that stuff, it becomes really good.
Yeah. Let's see. If you were to actually, do you have any irrational fears or phobias? So for me, it's like frogs, needles, Egyptian artifacts, looking straight up.
Right. Well, I legitimately like faint when I get my blood drawn.
Okay. So needles.
So I've always been a thing of needles, but like as an adult, I'm kind of like, yeah, let's go with needles. And then I remember I was like, I scheduled for some blood work. They're like, all right, we're gonna do your blood. And I was like, cool, do it. I felt the needle, cool. I passed out, got blood on my clothes. They're like, yeah, you passed out. And I was like,
you looked at it. Did you look at it?
I looked at it for like one brief second, then looked away, and then all of a sudden, like I was just out cold.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's what happens.
So now I tell people when I go to the doctor's office, I'm like, I fainted the sight of blood. Didn't know that was a thing, but
yeah, you look the other way, and then you ask them not to rest the vial on you because the
cold blood coming from the glass.
Well, no, it's the warm blood filling the cold vial. You're feeling, you're feeling. I told them, I was like, I feel me leaving me. Like it's like
a part of you is getting sucked out.
Yeah. Vampires. All right. If you were to cast anyone to play you in a movie, who would you cast?
Oh my goodness. I guess I could say Evan Peters because it's like the easiest thing to do. So, but I wouldn't mind Keanu Reeves either.
Whoa.
Yeah, like that would be kind of cool.
And then the last question: if you were on death row, what would your last meal be? And cost isn't a factor here.
So I would ask. I would ask for a nice, juicy porterhouse steak, cooked medium rare. And if it's cooked any higher than that, I'd ask for them to recook it again. This is my last meal. and then I would have to pair that with a bottle of red wine, dated 2075. And they say, "Sir, that wine doesn't exist." And I'm like, "That's okay, I can wait."
Oh, but so what's funny is you just answered another question that I always ask everybody I talk to. I eat my steaks well done, and I always ask people how they order their steaks, and then you said medium rare. And so Nark's like, "Did you hear that? Medium rare."
Yeah, we call that we call what you order in the business a hockey puck, and that's what we say every time. They're like one steak, well done. Oh, we'll get that hockey puck out to you in about 15 minutes. Like 100%. As from a cooking standpoint,
Yeah.
Don't eat rare ground meat. Like cook that thing all the way through. Make sure you get all the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Steaks though, you cook that shit to how you're concerned. If it's still bleeding in the center, you're fine. As long as you cook all the contact surfaces, you're good. You're not going to get E. coli or anything crap like that. So, but if you want a well done steak, have a well done steak.
My dad would poke his steak because he'd get it medium rare, and he'd be like, "Moo, moo," and like,
of course,
like, Dad.
That's the classic dad joke. Yeah. Where it's like, if it ain't moving, send it back.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Voodoo eats his steak rare. Do you name it while you're at it, Voodoo? What's wrong with you?
By the way, and by the way, people have like a debate about whether you use steak sauce or not on steak.
Yeah,
I say A1 all the time, and the steak tastes fine, but A1 is just so good.
Narc, did you hear that? Did you hear
A1,
that?
Steak sauce is delicious, and I will die on my hill about saying that.
Thank you, sir. So yeah. Between Narc and I, our feud for steaks, you eat it medium well. Medium rare, not medium well. Medium rare is when I feel like I failed to cook a steak, and then I'll be like, all right, I guess I'll do it. There's still a little bit of pink, but yeah, medium rare, and then but you do like A1 sauce, and you're okay with that.
Hell so Narc, yeah, A1 steak sauce for sure.
He said A1 sauce gets his stamp of approval. He would do that.
Yeah. Like I get it for the well done people, you kind of need a little bit more juice because you got a super dry piece of meat there, But
so yeah, well, you give me grief over A1 sauce, Narc.
A1 sauce is fine. It's the best. I think it's the best condiment anyone's ever created, in my opinion. Like ketchup, mustard, they're all great. A1 steak sauce, it's a whole different game. Put that on your burger next time too. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, fries, eating with fries, or like I'm allergic to shellfish now. I became allergic to it. Darkmaker, thank you for the raid. The party of 4.
Hey, what's up, man?
So I became allergic to shellfish, and I used to love golden fried shrimp. It's the way I cheat is I use cocktail sauce and eat it with French fries, and it reminds me of golden fried shrimp.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry that you've got your shellfish allergy.
Yeah, it hit me. It sucks. But we just finished it, and I definitely want you to get your dinner. So the last part of the interview is we raid someone of your choice. So do you have anyone in mind that we can raid?
Oh my goodness. Let me pull up a Twitch right now to see who is on, because I've kind of just been like, recently my second monitor just took a crap on us today, which kind of sucks. So this is mostly my girlfriend's, my fiance's workstation.
Yeah.
So these are her company's monitors, and I called her today. I was like, I don't know what happened, but your monitor's all white now. So I think she brought a new one home, or I don't know. I hope she did because she has to work tomorrow. So, okay, I've got it. This guy, his name is Visuali with 2 Y's.
So let's see.
It's VIZUALLYY.
VIZUALLYY.
He's a Pokemon streamer, and he's kind of a guy I've watched since Sword and Shield came out. He does fun, just ranked battle content. Like that's all he does. He's just a battler. You won't see him play casually or anything. He'll just be battling. So
let me thank you again for the fantastic interview. It was
thank you, man.
Awesome. So we're gonna go rate him. Here we go. Sorry, Dark, you rated me right when we were ending the interview. Sorry about that.
It happens that way, though.
Here we go.